All right, and welcome back to the Dirty Bird Nation Report, the unofficial official podcast of Falcons Twitter. It's your girl Lethal. We are gathered here with Breeze. He will be in and out of the show as the show goes on, and of course, the resident terrorist, the Marcus Niffles, the Colts fan slash Falcons fan, the two teamer. Ah, well, we just lost again to the Jags in London. Played one of this is probably the worst game of the season that we've played. It's got to be the worst game of the fucking season that we've played so far. Yeah, I woke up for this. I really woke up for this. I, I woke up early. I DoorDashed some breakfast. I got a chai tea latte. I put Bailey's in it, and I got ready for this fucking game.
Well, let me pause real quick. This is Breeze. I live on the West Coast, so I woke up at 6:30 to watch this monstrosity. So I don't want to hear it. I still haven't eaten breakfast yet.
Look now, it's not my fault, okay, that you were all the way over there. All right. So don't blame me for your decision making over there. Okay. You're all the way over there. That's not my fault. Has nothing to do with me. Eat some breakfast. All right. And have a cocktail. A strong mimosa with tequila. What is that? I don't know what kind of drink that is because I'm not a drinker like that. But yeah, I tried watching on the Toy Story stream and that shit wasn't working. And I'm very, very happy that I didn't watch it on the Toy Story stream because the streams that were working, the game looked worse in the Toy Story streams than it did on the live stream.
Yeah, that Toy Story stream didn't do it for me. Like I gave it a shot. It's I'll always give people credit for trying something new and creative, but that it just didn't work. Especially when you watch it, watch how the play looked on the Toy Story stream compared to what it actually looked like. It's not even close. So I mean, for kids it works, but if you actually want to know what's going on in the game, the Toy Story stream is just not it.
It was not it at all. And this game overall just wasn't fucking it. So shit, man. Ritter Ritter is just he's trash. We're just gonna have to say it. Ritter's trash. Um, there's no sugarcoating it anymore. Those first two games of the season was a fucking fluke. This man is trash. Arthur Smith's play calling is also trash. We need some other play callers. He can call the run game, but that's it. That's about it. Ritter pretty much lost us this game. Ritter and Arthur Smith alone lost us this fucking game. And
I don't know if Desmond is trash. I don't. I just think that maybe he got lucky in a couple of games. I think it was last week. Was it last week? Who did y'all play last week? The Lions, right?
Lions, yeah,
Didn't he have like two interceptions dropped?
he
Two
did.
dropped interceptions that he threw. Like one of them could have been a pick six, but they just got dropped. And today, uh, those interceptions weren't dropped. He threw. I by my account, I saw four passes that could have been intercepted, and two of them were intercepted, and he fumbled the ball. So we talked about this before we started recording, as far as like, what do you see in Desmond Ridder that would make you want to believe in this guy as a quarterback from a fan perspective, not as a general manager or coach. I look at this guy and he doesn't have any size to him, doesn't have any speed, doesn't have any mobility, doesn't have a strong arm, isn't particularly accurate, and doesn't seem to process the field quickly. And on top of all of those deficiencies, he tends to turn the ball over a lot. So he threw four passes that could have been intercepted. Two of them were intercepted, and he fumbled the ball. So you add all that stuff up, all those deficiencies, and the idea that he is going to give the ball away. What is the reasoning in sticking with him as your quarterback? And I'm not saying he's going to be their franchise quarterback. They don't have to ride with this guy for the next 10 years. But what does he do that makes you, as a fan, look at him and say, nah, give him another week? He can get better. Get better at what? Is his arm going to get stronger next week? Is he going to get more accurate in 2 weeks? Is he going to get faster in 3 weeks? Is he going to grow 2 inches and put on 20 pounds of muscle? What is he going to do that's going to improve him as a quarterback? I just don't see it.
I don't see it either. And shout out to Amara. Someone tell me how do I apply for the quarterback position. I was just saying the same thing. I don't think I can do worse. I don't think I can do worse right now than Desmond Ridder. But I was watching the 95. Shit, I muted myself. I need to go back to sleep. This game is too fucking early. I was watching the 95 South show. Shout out to Berto from Smitty Sports Machine and Tip. I don't know his channel. I'm gonna put it in the description box below though. But I was watching them during the game. They were live streaming and they were trying to give so much grace to Ritter. They're like, I don't want to criticize yet. I don't want to criticize yet. He's still a rookie. He's still a rookie. Everybody in the comments was like, fuck that shit. You know, and as soon as that back-to-back interception that Ritter did, literally had one interception, came back, threw another one. Man, they had to throw their fucking hands up because it's like, how much grace are we gonna give him? Since the first game this year, this man has just been the first two games. He was just okay. You know what I'm saying? Like he had his faults. He had like he was fucking holding on to the ball too long. We were trying to blame the offensive line. We were like, okay, Arthur Smith is a problem. Everybody's been trying to give him excuses after excuses, but the reality is, this man, he's not it. Like right now, he's not showing that he can be NFL caliber, and it sucks. It really sucks, but he's just making boneheaded ass decisions and he's holding on to the ball too long. He's staring down the receivers he's passing to, which is why interceptions are happening right now. Because, bro, you need to fucking learn how to not stare down who you're about to pass to so that the defense doesn't intercept the ball. Like, all I got to do is look at your ass and be like, okay, you're about to throw to him. Let me just wait and then go get it when the opportunity's right. Like, come on.
I don't really. It's hard for me to give him that. He's a rookie. I don't want to say it's an excuse, but I mean he's not a rookie. This is his second year in the league. He had a whole offseason to get better. Like being a rookie and being a second year player are totally different things. And he did get to play 4 games last year. He got to play at home and on the road, so he kind of knows the in and outs of the NFL as opposed to an actual rookie who has never had to go through a lot of these things. So if you say you were to even if you were to compare Desmond Ridder to actual rookies like C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, you look at those guys, and it feels like to me that those actual rookies are processing the field better, or at least have some sort of discernible traits that you can look at and be like, okay, I can work with that. I can make something out of that. Like with Anthony Richardson, they'd be like, okay, maybe he's not, as accurate as we want, but the quarterback run game, we can do that with him. He has that ability. And even if you look at second year quarterbacks, like you look at what's the dude's name? Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett seems to get the ball out pretty quickly. He seems to be pretty accurate, and he's a second year quarterback. I mean, look throughout the league. I think it's a fair question to ask: is Desmond Ridder the worst starting quarterback in the NFL? Like, how many quarterbacks is he better than as a starting? Now this week, we're going to see, I believe the Raiders are going to be starting a rookie at quarterback. So I'm curious to see what he looks like. The Browns are going to be starting somebody else. I don't know who he is, but they're starting someone else because Deshaun Watson is hurt. But you look at, he's not like Desmond Ridder. He's not better than Tua. He's not better than Josh Allen. He's not better than Matt Jones. Zach Wilson. This is where there's a question where it's like, would you rather have Desmond Ridder or Zach Wilson? And if you're having that conversation, you don't have a quarterback. If you have to debate, well, is my guy better than Zach Wilson? I don't know. Maybe not. Once you start doing that, your quarterback is cooked. Your quarterback is toast. So, I mean, I could go through all the quarterbacks in the league right now, and I'd have to scroll all the way. Like, it's between him. It's between him and Zach Wilson. Desmond Ridder and Zach Wilson are the worst quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Say what you want about Justin Fields. He's not playing well either. But I at least know that if the Bears would call run plays for him, he can do that. That's an option that they have with him. There's nothing you can do with Desmond Ridder. Like, What is he going to? What is he good at?
I agree. He's not good at much of anything. Like he just hasn't been good at much of anything this whole time. Like some people were blaming the play calling game one. They're like, no, it's
The
not
play,
Ritter, it's the play
the play
calling.
calling is not. The play calling is not helping for
And
sure. It's not
granted,
helping.
it's not helping, but it's like, okay, both Ritter can be bad and the play calling can be bad at the same time. But most people on game one, when I was at the stadium, were blaming the play calling over Ritter. And it's just like, wait, hold on. You sure about that? Like, you sure it's not both? Like, why can't both be true? And now, as we're progressing, some of those same people that were like, the play calling was issue, not Ritter, are now like, okay, Ritter's issue. Like, everybody's trying to seeing that now Ritter is a fucking issue. And
I mean, you
shout
can have you can have bad play calling, but sometimes if you have some sort of talent at the quarterback position, that talent can overcome bad play calling. Like people like to cite the Packers when they had Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, where it's like Mike McCarthy wasn't known as the greatest offensive coach, but when you have someone as talented as Aaron Rodgers, he can kind of overcome bad play calling with his accuracy and the ability to throw the ball deep and his mobility. You can't have bad play calling and bad quarterback play at the same time. That's a recipe for disaster. So I don't know if this is possible, and I don't know how it would work. Um, I just don't know how it would work. But if I'm Bijan Robinson's agent, after having 14 carries for 105 yards to go with 5 catches and 32 yards, if the Falcons go into next year with Desmond Ridder as their quarterback, I'm telling Bijan to hold out. Because for what? I'm not putting my running back client who like running backs clearly don't get paid as it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're handicapped to this guy at quarterback. Now, if they go out there and upgrade the quarterback position, or they have to upgrade the quarterback position. If they don't do that, I'm telling them, hey man, sit out. You've shown, because he's on what's Bijan Robinson on track for? He's on track to get at least 1,000 yards rushing,
Yeah,
probably
gotta
50
be.
to 60 catches, 15 touchdowns. Like Bijan has proven his worth. Like he knows every team in the NFL can look at Bijan Robinson and say, that is a guy. That is the guy that I would like on my team. There's no team
Oh
in the
yeah,
NFL that would say, I don't want that guy.
that
So if
that
I'm
doesn't
Bijan
want him.
Robinson, if I'm Bijan Robinson at the end of the season, if I see that, hey, they're not bringing in another quarterback or they're not drafting a quarterback, I'm either holding out or I'm demanding a trade. You're not going to waste my knees running behind
Right.
this bum ass quarterback. Trade me, or you're going to have to pay me crazy money, like
We're not
damn near
gonna.
quarterback money.
What I don't want to do is waste this man's whole career, Bijan's whole career. Like this man is a great. Today he had 105 rushing yards, 105 yards. Like he's gonna hit 1,000 yards. I don't want him being another Todd Gurley and having his knees blown out in 2 to 3 years. Like it's ridiculous. And shout out to KTSEF. Make sure y'all follow and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, the quarterback review video by the quarterback school, I'm going to put it in the description below, was calling out every issue on Ridder. Last week during the Lions game, Ridder had so many fucking issues, holding on to the ball too long, not knowing what the play was. Even today, there's a screenshot that I'll have to do another video on this, but there's a screenshot where he's supposed to be handing off the ball to the right hand side, but he handed off the ball to the left. And this was the third or fourth game that he's done that. Like, bro, know your left from your right. Like, if you don't even know your left from your right, that's a huge fucking problem. Like, there's a screenshot. I retweeted it. I think I retweeted it or I saved it. But I'm gonna do another video showing that. Like, bro, you don't even know your left from your right. You're staring players down. You're holding onto the ball too long. You're not even checking it down. You're just hanging on to it. Like, get rid of the ball so we could stay at the line of scrimmage. Like, you're just losing yards. You suck. There's just no way around not saying you suck. And I shout out to that QB school dude. I forgot what his actual name is, but that's the channel, the quarterback school. Y'all go look it up. He did a breakdown of Desmond Ridder because I wanted to know, what is it? Ridder, is Ridder the problem? Is the O line the problem? Is Arthur Smith the problem? And during that breakdown, 90% of it is Ridder. Ridder is 90% of the problem. Yes, we have a trashy offensive line. Yes, we have trashy play calling, but Ridder is the fucking problem. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be something like because you can look at the skill position players, and they have players out there. Like
Mhm.
Bijan Robinson is clearly a guy. Kyle Pitts is clearly a guy. Like he's got talent, but I don't understand what it is that they can't get him the ball. Like he only had, I believe, like 4 targets today, and he only had 2. There's got to be a reason for why it's not happening. Like either he's not getting open, or the coaches aren't calling plays for him. Because I think Breeze pointed it out on the timeline where Kyle Pitts is pretty much a decoy for the other tight end. What's his name? Smith. Like
Yeah.
Smith is out there eating, and Pitts is
Eating.
out there being a decoy, and it's like, yeah, that's cool for him to be a decoy because I believe Travis Kelsey's been a decoy before, Gronk has
Mhm.
been a decoy also, but they're also to be a decoy you have to be a threat first. We haven't seen this year at least Kyle Pitts be a threat to catch the ball, to make big plays, to catch touchdowns, to do anything. So is he a decoy or is he just not being thrown to or not getting open? Something's got to give here. And I don't want to just keep going back to the quarterback, but like if I'm a play caller, if I'm a coach in the NFL, like we've all played Madden, we've all played NBA 2K or whatever. We don't know like exactly what plays we're gonna call, but we know who we're gonna get the ball to. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm down, if I need a bucket and I'm playing with the Warriors, I don't care what play I'm calling, but I'm going to call a play for Steph Curry. If I'm playing, you know, if I'm playing Madden and I don't know, the Chiefs, I don't know what play I'm calling, but I know I'm going to get the ball to Travis Kelsey. Or if I'm the Dolphins, I'm going to get the ball to Tyreek Hill. At some point, you just have to have money plays for your money players. Everybody has that. Like you remember when like Randy Moss was on the Vikings, and everybody would just pick the Vikings like, "Hey, I'm just going to chuck it deep," and then for a minute, the Vikings did that in real life, where they were just like, "Hey, man, Randy down there somewhere, just throw it up to him. He'll go out there and make a play." Sometimes you just got to do that. Get Kyle Pitts one on one with somebody, with anybody, and just see if he can make a play. Like, who cares? If it's like 3rd and 10, leave everybody in the block. Hey, Kyle, get open. I'm gonna throw you the ball. Like sometimes you got to have the ability to do that as a play caller and as a quarterback. Arthur Smith could be in his ear like, "Hey, I want you to make sure you watch the right side of the field, read the defense, go through your progressions, and hit the guy that's open." As a quarterback, sometimes you got to be like, "Nah, screw that. Kyle Pitts needs to go out there and make a play, and I'm going to throw him the ball, whether he's covered or not. Make a play." And you have to be able to trust your guy to do that. And it doesn't seem like anybody trusts anybody to do anything.
Right. Like, shout out to Jalen. Yep. Pitts is blocking for Janu. Jalen, love you, miss you. Can't wait to have you back on here whenever you're ready. So, yeah,
They
like
they did
Pitts,
not draft Kyle Pitts to do that. That's not why you
bro,
drafted him 4th overall. That's not why.
we're paying this man too much money. 4th overall, highest drafted tight end and paid. Well, he's not the highest paid tight end, but y'all know what the fuck I'm trying to say. I'm tired. It's an early fucking game. Okay, I have crust in my eyes right now. Bro, we drafted him too high, and he makes too much money to not be getting the ball. We only had one game this year. I think it was against the Packers, where Ridder threw the ball. He just chunked that shit in the air. Kyle Pitts pushed someone out the way to get the ball. That was it. Other than that, this man has just been sleep. Like, I don't know why Breeze has him on his fantasy team, but this man been ever since. Like, I don't know what's happening. The Lions game, the announcers thought he was might have been injured or like tweaked something. But it's like, okay, if that's the case, then like why don't we just sit him on the sidelines? Like, what's the point of having him out there besides what Jalen said, blocking for Smith? Like, this is so ridiculous. I don't understand it. We have all these players: Drake London, Pitts, fucking Bajan, Algier out there, etc. That we spent all this first round capital on, and they're not. Bajan's being used, but everybody else is not being used. And I don't want to overuse Bajan, which today we definitely did, but Algier couldn't go anywhere today. I don't want to overuse him, and then he ends up being TG3. Like something's got to give. Like Arthur Smith needs to cut it out. The I think for our run game in the first two games, I think we exposed it every secret we had in our run game too early, because the Lions have stopped our run game and now the Jags have stopped our run game. Like every time Algier got a touch, he went damn near nowhere. Like they were like, "Oh, I know this play," and they stopped us. So I think that was exposed too early by Arthur Smith, and then he's obviously doing some of the same plays. I mean, he had to call fucking timeout to change the play because the Jags picked up on it so fast. Like, stop being cute. Call something different. Like Arthur, you have to do something. That you have to do something else. We need other play callers in there offensively besides Arthur, because everything Arthur's doing is just not working.
As a defensive coordinator, we were talking about this before the show. Also, I do not know how I would play Desmond Ridder on passing downs, at least. Like I don't know what the best um, strategy would be, because if you blitz him, you're going to speed up his processing, which he's not really good at, and he's probably going to turn the ball over. If you sit back in coverage, just like on his two interceptions where they didn't blitz him, he'll still throw it away. So it's like at that point, he's going to beat himself. You can blitz him and he's going to turn the ball over, or you can sit back in coverage and he's going to turn the ball over. Like first and second down, I'm just going to everybody go to Bijan. Just wherever he's at, go to him, get him behind the sticks. If it's 3rd and 8, Desmond Ritter's I don't trust him to make a play. I don't as a defensive coordinator, I'd be like, I dare you to make a play. Try to make a play, because I don't think you can do it. Like, the touchdown pass was a good throw. You know what I'm saying? But that's a regular everyday throw that any quarterback in high school should make. There's nothing special with them. And I do want to I don't want this to be super negative the entire time, but shout out to the defense. They only gave up one touchdown. They gave up a lot of field goals, but they only gave up one touchdown today. So you can't look at the defense and be like, "Oh, you guys didn't do enough." You can only do so much when you got that at quarterback, or as an offense and as a play caller. It's just they don't have enough. So, I mean, I feel
No,
bad for him, honestly.
look, I agree. Shout out to the defense. Shout out to giving Jesse Bates the third all that money that we spend on him. You've been doing a great job. I'm so glad we gave you all that money and that you're playing like you deserve all that money. I think there was only one. Okay, defense had one negative play where they was it Ridley that made that touchdown? Either AJ or Richie Grant like fucked up on coverage and gave a touchdown. But other than that, the defense did great. And the defense is the only positive that we're taking away with this game.
Well, at least Koo didn't miss any field goals today.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Bates and AJ. Fuck.
I will say, as a fan of the NFL, I would love to see. It's very disappointing to see talented players like um, Kyle Pitts. Not even like now, I'm starting to even question, like, is Kyle Pitts good? Is he actually that type of player?
No.
You know what I'm
See,
saying? Because he hasn't done anything over there.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because last week a lot of fans were like, Kyle Pitts sucks. He doesn't want to be here. Look at him skipping the routes instead of running the routes. He don't want to be here. He sucks. Da, 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 da. I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, we want to trade him. Trade him, trade him, trade him, trade him. And so that got started. And then who was it? Robert Griffin or somebody on television was like, oh, he's going to be traded to the Cowboys. And then, of course, all the rumors got started. And this week, people are still on the same bandwagon to trade him. And I'm like, they're like, he's not good. And it's like, okay, but if he's not getting the ball to make any plays, can we really say he's not good?
That's the hard part, because I think me and I don't know if I don't know if I'm exposing Breeze for this, but we were talking about it yesterday as far as what do you do with Kyle Pitts? You know, like what is it? What is his trade value? You know what I'm saying? And I was saying like, hey man, if a team's offering like a second or a third, hey man, send it over. And he was like, nah, a first and a third for Kyle Pitts. And I'm looking at Kyle Pitts' stats for the year. He hasn't done anything. He's not producing at any level. He hasn't done anything worth a first round pick. You know what I'm saying? And that's not, I don't know if that's on Kyle Pitts or if that's on the Falcons offensive um, play callers. And it's like if I'm a team that's looking to trade for him, I have to overpay because you guys are underutilizing him. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you guys don't know how to use him means I got to pay more to get him. So I would like to see Kyle Pitts on a team that's going to actually throw him the ball. You guys did not draft that man that high to be like a good blocker and to be the second tight end on the team. He should be your number one option. Like in the passing game, at least it should be him. It should be him, Bijan, Drake London. You know what I'm saying? Like this other Janu guy, him having 95 yards and Pitts having 20, unacceptable. Like,
bro, unfucking acceptable. People getting paid should be getting the ball. Like, you know, we pay you all that money to do stuff. You ain't getting the fucking ball. It's fucking pissing me off. Like Breeze is saying, Rico. There needs to be a Rico out on Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith and Ridder need to swim back to Flowery Branch. Swim right now. Get in the Atlantic and start swimming. Start swimming like right fucking now. This is fucking ridiculous. There's no there's no reason why. Like imagine paying Travis Kelsey all that money and he's not getting the ball. The TE2 is getting the ball the whole time. Like what? I'm confused as to what the fuck is happening. I don't know what's really going on with Pitts. Is he injured? If he's is he not injured? Like, but everybody sees Ridder is just booty. He ain't helping the situation. You know what I'm saying?
that's the
And
problem.
Jalen,
That's the problem. You don't know where the problem lies
right?
because
It's a combination, but whatever's going on with Pitts is like I don't know. Nobody knows what's going on with Pitts. And then okay, hold on. Before I get on a rant. Jalen, our resident football expert, said Pitt's value is probably a second and a fifth.
if I'm the Falcons, based on what kind of production he has or hasn't have, send it, man. Like you guys aren't using him. Give him like it's a thing where I have two kids and uh sometimes my kids fight over toys, right? And there's other times where one of the kids will have a toy that they're not playing with. They're not playing with it. They have no use for it. They don't care about it. And then the other kid goes over there and wants to play with it. And now it's like, nah, that's my toy. I want to play with it. No, you don't. The only reason you want to play with it is because someone else wants it. And that's the same thing with Kyle Pitts. There's going to be teams calling about Kyle Pitts like, hey, can we get Kyle Pitts? What's his trade value? Can we, look, let's work something out. And the Falcons are going to be like, nah, we're not trading Kyle Pitts. He's too valuable to us. No, he's not. You guys don't value him at all. You guys just don't want to give him away. You just don't want to share him. Send them to Green Bay. Send them to Kansas City. Send them to Los Angeles. Send them anywhere. But just do right by him. Do right by these players. And like I said earlier, if the team comes back next year with Desmond Ridder as their quarterback, Bijan Robinson needs to hold out or demand a trade. Because no, I'm not wasting my prime years with this quarterback handcuffed to me. I'm not doing it. And I wouldn't recommend him to do it. What's the word? What are they going to do to you? You're the best player on the team. What are they going to say to you? What are they going to do? You can't do nothing without me.
Can't do shit.
Oh, my back hurts. My hamstring is tight. I got a headache. I'm hurt. I can't play. Who can so what? So what? Go where you go. This is why I'm against the draft, because Bijan should have been able to go wherever he wanted to go. If Bijan had the choice and the option and the free will to pick whatever team he wanted to go to, he's not choosing Atlanta to go to. He's not going to go run behind a team with zero quarterback. He wouldn't pick that. So
Man, look now. Bijan is very godly. All right. He's godly
Okay.
and churchy. So, he knows he don't got a choice. All right. God sent him to Atlanta for a reason. That's what happened. All right. That's what happened.
To
That's what
suffer.
happened. You know,
He sent him to Atlanta
the
to suffer.
strongest soldiers survive. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming to Church by Lethal. I'm the pastor. You can tithe me via Cash App at Lethal Riley. Cash $ Lethal Riley is my Cash App. So you can send your tithes and offerings there. Thank you very much. Jalen, shout out to Jalen in the comments. Charles, that's Forverts on Twitter. He is a football expert along with Jalen. And Trey Sean, I think that's TR3 Sean on Twitter. I believe that's his Twitter. Said that they think Pitts is hurt and Arthur Smith just doesn't want to say it. It's possible. It's very
If he's hurt,
possible.
why are you playing him?
Because they got to.
Why? To do what? What is he doing
Just
out
like
there?
they reactivated Cordell today and Cordell didn't do shit. Like Cordell, I think he did like one block and that was it. You know what I'm saying?
It just feels like they don't know what they're doing. They have all this great
They
talent and
don't.
they just don't know what to do. The only person they know how to use is Cordell Patterson. That's the only thing they know how to use because he's every time he's on the field, he makes plays. He's always open. He whatever. But that couldn't have been the plan because you guys, when you initially signed that guy, it was like a 1 year, like $3 million deal. It was nothing, and that guy carried your offense. And because he did that, I was like, okay, well, this has got to be the guy. This is the plan. This is what we're gonna do. And it's just you guys have all these nice things. You guys just don't know how to use it. You're not using it properly, and I'm getting to the
No.
point where you guys don't deserve it.
You see, this is what happens. This is I said it. I said it. I said it when we got this man. You cannot trust a bald black man in Wranglers and cowboy boots. I done told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all when we got him? I told y'all. I said that when he came over here. You can also not trust a trust fund baby. You can't trust a billionaire's kid to come and fucking try to help run a fucking organization. He needs to go back to FedEx and fucking deliver and fucking box up packages and make sure they get somewhere on fucking time. You can't trust them to do shit. You know why?
He's not
Because they're playing. They're playing. No, he's playing coach. He's like, ooh, billionaire daddy, I don't want to be CEO. So I want to do football and see if I'm good at it. And if not, my fallback plan will be to come and run the company at FedEx. Please, daddy, please let me do this. Please help me be an NFL coach since you got all these fucking billions to back it up and you could be the sponsor for all these fucking NFL teams because this is what I want to do, even though my calling is to fucking put some tape on some packages and punt them into people's fucking garages and on people's fucking rooftops. Okay, I'm done.
That man is not a trust fund baby. That man worked his way up through the ranks the
What?
hard
No,
way.
he didn't. He didn't work his
That
way
man,
up. Shit.
that man pulled himself up by his bootstraps and made something happen.
That man got a yacht with FedEx logo just slapped. It's purple, orange, and white out here.
I mean, it's not looking good. You know, I'm not saying that Arthur Smith should be fired, but
I do.
is he's he doesn't have a good quarterback, and you can't win without a good quarterback. You know, and
He,
I don't know whose
that is
fault that is. I don't
huge.
know if you can put that on the I don't know if you can put that on the GM, but like someone has to answer for why they felt so comfortable with him all off season. Like obviously, like Lamar Jackson was available, but deep down we all knew that he wasn't leaving. But to just not even, you know, put in a call to be like, you know what, Nick, what's your interest? Like, we're not going to even gauge any interest. Say what you want about Trey Lance kind of being let go. Um, I'm not saying that Trey Lance is, better than Desmond Ridder, but I'm not saying he's better than Ridder because I don't know. I haven't seen enough of Trey Lance.
Right.
But I just feel like there were options out there in the offseason. There were calls to be made. Like, I'm not big on Sam Darnold, but I mean, he was available. I'm not, I'm glad we have Gardner Minshew, but Gardner Minshew was available. Like, there were options out there at quarterback. And, we saw Heineke, the Green Lizard. We've seen him make some plays out there. So I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I'm repeating myself. I don't know how long of a leash someone with the deficiencies that Desmond Ridder has, how long of a leash they actually deserve. Because, like we said, his arm will not get stronger. It's as strong as it's ever going to be. He's not going to get more accurate. He's just not. He's not going to get more mobile. He's not going to be able to run the ball. And it seems like he's just a turnover prone guy. So if you pull him and you just put in a competent guy who won't turn the ball over, like, obviously I'm a Colts fan, so I saw Gardner Minshew play. Gardner Minshew didn't play great, but he didn't turn the ball over. He's not going to beat you. Like, our defense had to play, the best defense of their life, and our kicker had to kick 4 50-plus yard field goals. So clearly, Gardner Minshew's not out there making plays, but he's also not turning the ball over. And you can win with those offensive skill players in that defense if you just have a quarterback that's not going to give it away. You're not going to win a Super Bowl, in my opinion, but you guys can win that division if Desmond Ridder just doesn't turn the ball over. That's all you have to do. Just don't turn it over. Hand it to Bijan, throw it to Kyle Pitts, or throw it out the end zone. But just don't turn it over. He's not good enough to turn the ball over. Like Josh Allen has a cannon arm. He can run. He's mobile. He can afford a few turnovers here and there because he'll make up for it by throwing an 80-yard bomb. Desmond Ridder has to play perfect. He has to play perfect, essentially. And he's not capable of doing that at this moment.
No, he's not. And like Jalen said, he's a leader per Arthur Smith in the organization and a great locker room guy. Like Bree said, make sure y'all fucking subscribe to KTSEF podcast. Great locker room guy. Oh, you can't see my screen. Can you see my screen? I'm gonna post this later. I think I already posted it. This is a great locker room guy. You see Hollins trying to bite his fucking head off. Great locker room guy. People are fed up. Not only us, his own teammates are fed up with his bullshit. He's not even the captain, right? Yeah. How are you a leader and a great locker room guy and you're not even captain? One of the captains. Like, make that shit make sense.
I don't think you could be a great locker room guy if your team is losing and you're the reason why.
And your team is biting your fucking head off on the sidelines. Like,
that doesn't scream great locker room guy. That just screams like, it's the thing where people, you can look at, say, like Kobe Bryant as an example, where they're just like, he's yelling and cursing at his teammates. It's just like, no, that's just the Mamba mentality. That's what you got to do to win. But we forget about those years when Shaq left before Powell got there and he was getting cooked in the playoffs. That Mamba mentality did do nothing for him. That Mamba mentality only works when you're winning. When you're not winning, you're just an asshole. You know what I'm saying? So Desmond Ridder being a great locker room guy doesn't mean anything if you're losing.
It don't mean
like
shit.
you think the Falcons, like, obviously one of the players that's kind of been that people think is not the greatest locker room guy is someone like Aaron Rodgers, where he's like standoffish. He's not going to work with the receivers. If you drop a pass, he might freeze you out of the offense. Yeah, those are bad things. Those are bad qualities and bad traits of a quarterback. But he's still a good to great quarterback. And I'm pretty sure those players on that defense in the Falcons locker room would rather deal with Aaron Rodgers' mess and know that, hey, he's going to at least get us 21 points a game and keep us in the game and not turn the ball over, as opposed to having a great rah, let's go, cheer him on, guys. But he's not good. And you have to hide him on offense. So nobody like all these intangibles, and he's a nice guy, and people will follow him. All go out the window when he's not good. Players want to win, and if you're like a Drake London, Desmond Ritter is going to cost you money because when contract time comes around, they're going to look at them stats. I don't know if I have the stats up from this week. I think I deleted it or I closed it out. But like Kyle Pitts, outside of that first year, he's not going to having a good season. Contract time rolls around, they're going to be like, hey man, you haven't really produced at the level
Right.
of a quarter of the tight end that's the highest drafted tight end ever. Drake London, you're a top 10 pick. You're not really producing like it. Why should we pay you? So
Yeah,
all
I
that
got
rah
him
rah,
up.
all that rah rah stuff when contract time rolls around, we'll see.
I got the stats. I made sure to get him up. So receiving yards, we got Smith, who none of us really knew who he was before. 95 receiving yards. Robinson, 32. Drake London, 28 receiving yards today. That's it. 28
How many
receiving
catches?
yards.
How many catches on the 28 yards? Please be three. Please be three
Yeah,
catches.
it is 3. 28 and 3.
It's fucking lit. Oh my
28
god.
receiving yards for 3 fucking catches today. Marcus is right. If he wants a new contract somewhere else, they're gonna be like, that's all you got? That's it. Pitts, 21 yards, 2 catches. Hodge, 19. Algier, -4. We love it. We love it here. This
So
is
real quick on the Kyle Pitts thing, I think this should be a cautionary tale. We talked about this on the KTSDF podcast last night. It's gonna drop this week. Definitely subscribe. But fans, I know fan is short for fanatics, that's why I call myself a supporter. But y'all guys have to chill with just feeding into the media narratives, right? The whole Kyle Pitts, he was built as a generational talent. Was it too big for DBs, too fast for linebackers, all that jazz. And there were people making videos like, "Oh, he had a better rookie year than Julio Jones," and all these projections, all this fucking rah rah hoopla bullshit. And I'm just like, okay, did y'all look at Julio Jones like rookie film? Did y'all actually watch him play? Because if you did, you wouldn't be saying this. I blocked the guy last year who said that Drake London was like on pace to be better than Julio Jones. Like, stop getting caught up in the media narratives. Like, trust your eyes. So right now, Brock Bowers, the greatest tight end anybody's ever seen. Well, 3 years ago, that was Kyle Pitts. So what are we really doing here, right? And I'm gonna shoot Kyle Pitts a little bail just because of the situation he's in. But for somebody to be billed as more than the tight end, he's really a wide receiver. Well, if he was a wide receiver, he'd actually be a wide receiver, which he's not, right? And Jamar Chase was drafted after Kyle Pitts, a real wide receiver who makes an impact on his team, right? So it's unfortunate that we're at this point. Kind of the same with Bijan Robinson. He's great. We're gonna have to let it play out to see if he is quote generational. I get it; it's cool that he jukes people out, but I mean, people get juked out all the time, right? And what I'll say with that too is that he is kind of becoming the de facto Julio Jones of the Falcons. Whereas if he's not going, the offense isn't going, and it can't be solely relied on him to carry the team. That's just not sustainable, like Marcus was saying. Like, you're gonna run this poor man into the ground, and for what? For Desmond Ridder to throw 17 interceptable passes in like 3 games? Like, this ain't it.
So next week you guys play the Texans, and you
woo.
guys are going to look across that field and watch CJ Stroud. And CJ Stroud is playing behind a terrible offensive line. Like, they're down to like third stringers right now. And you guys are going to see how he plays quarterback and how he makes plays and how he reads the defense. And you're going to look at CJ Stroud like, this is his fourth, fifth game of his career. How is he already that much better than Desmond? You can't do that. How is he that much better than Desmond Ridder? And it's because obviously draft status only means so much, but it's pretty glaring right now when you look at Desmond Ridder. You can tell that he was a late round pick. He was a late round pick because he lacks talent. He just doesn't have it.
He lacks a lot. A lot. Shout out to Kenny. He's been commenting. I'm sorry, I'm just getting to your comment. But Kenny wants to know who should we get as quarterback one next year between Cam Ward, I'm assuming his last name is Phoenix, and what's it? Sanders kid. I'm gonna start right now. Deion Sanders said his kids are not going to the draft. He said that. There's a video, you can look it up. They were watching some game, him and both his sons, and he was like, "Y'all are not going to the draft." So Sanders is definitely out for that because they're definitely not going to go against their father. Between Cam Ward and Phoenix,
Penix.
I haven't been watching enough
Penix.
football to know.
They say
Not
Penix is the leader
um,
for the Heisman right now. So
oh damn.
yeah,
Over Caleb Williams?
as of last week, I don't know about after yesterday, but yeah, the betting odds were for Kyle Penix.
Of course, the betting odds. The betting odds are everything. We're gonna
Oh,
get you some help.
my ticket's hitting right now. I picked the Jags to win in a couple bets, so and I picked the under for the Jags Falcons game. So shout out to them.
Oh shit. Jalen said Kyler if he's available. What's Kyler's last name? Y'all know I don't really watch.
Kyler Murray. See, I
Oh,
mentioned this. I mentioned this to, I think it was Eric. I mentioned this. I was like, if you guys had the ability to go into next season, you couldn't draft a guy, would you be interested in Kyler Murray as a quarterback option? And he laughed me out of the spaces. But why not? If there's not a first round talent available for you at quarterback, we've seen Kyler Murray be a great quarterback. We've seen it. We've seen him. He's better than Desmond Ridder, guys. Like, you guys have a cap space to bring in Kyler Murray. Like, come on. Why not?
oh yeah, the toddler, the running toddler.
Yes. Yes.
I like him. He runs like a toddler, and I can laugh during games while he's running. But he's great. I'd take him. Kenny said Cam Ward's is top 5 in Heisman. He's balling at Washington State. I'm gonna look at Washington State's games next week. I'm gonna look so I can fucking know who y'all talking about. And Jalen said Phoenix is a demon, so he's not surprised. Look now, I'll take anybody. Right? I'll take
Penix.
I'll take
Penix.
Airbud,
Penix.
Penix. My bad, Penix. I'll take Airbud. I'll take the man on the south side. I'll take the Nation of Islam. That's one of the people in the Nation of Islam that sell the bean pies right now. I'll take anybody. Anybody. I'll take the crackheads that pay you to park in Edgewood that watch your car. You don't even got to pay to park right there, but you got to pay for them not breaking your car. I'll take one of them as quarterback.
Like I said earlier, Desmond Ridder and Zach Wilson are in the running for the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. So the idea that Falcons fan would just kind of scoff at the idea of bringing in Kyler Murray, it's ridiculous. You guys are at the very bottom when it comes to quarterback play. Very bottom.
Shout out to the Desbians.
And I told Marcus.
I've got to stop saying that.
I told Marcus before, I was like, I can't believe that he has fans. Like, besides people in Cincinnati who watched him, it's, Cincinnati fans. Besides them, like, outside of that, the fact that he has fans is just mind-boggling to me. Because, like, have y'all not seen him play these last games? Just this year alone. Last year, I'm not even going to count that because he only played 4 games and he's a rookie. Still, technically, is a rookie with 4 games under his belt. But it's just like, how do y'all watch him play and be like, yes, I am a desbian? I'm a desbian for life. I need that man to delete his tweet. It does sound nasty.
That's so nasty.
And you already know Arthur Smith is gonna be real spicy. Like Bree said, he's about to be hella spicy. Talking about, oh, this ain't fantasy football. We're trying to win games. You idiot. The only people that are mad are the fans, not fantasy football fans. We're real fans. And y'all ain't winning these last 2 games. Y'all played like shit. And you don't get all spicy with the fans like we're the problem. No, you're the problem. You need to stop calling plays.
Yeah, I get being mad at like fantasy football fans at the idea of like, Kyle Pitts not being, who Kyle Pitts is supposed to be or who he was touted to be. But no one else is doing anything either. And you're not winning on top of that. So at some point you gotta look in the mirror. It's
Right.
look
Stop
look in the
blaming.
mirror. Just I'm not yeah, I'm almost willing to say just pull the plug on the season. If you're gonna roll out every week with Desmond Ridder, pull the plug. The season's over. And this is coming from someone I picked y'all to win this division. Like I figured, as long as Desmond Ridder comes in and doesn't lose any games, this team is good enough to to make the playoffs. And Desmond Ridder has. It's hard to say he's regressed because he only played 4 games last year, but I don't remember him throwing this many like turnover worthy passes, and it just seems to be getting worse. So yeah, maybe he has regressed. Maybe he's not as good as I'm not even saying good, but he's not. He has not gotten better at anything. Nothing.
Hmm.
If you're
Yeah.
gonna roll out with him, the season is over. Your season's over. I'm sorry. Like I hate to say that after 4 weeks, but the season's over, man.
Like he literally went uphill first two games just to come crashing down the next two. It's sad to see. It sucks. It sucks for us fans. So we play next week? The Texans. We play the Texans next week. We're gonna see. I have no other words, but we're gonna see what happens because I mean, look at what just happened. We all woke up for this shit and now need naps. So we'll see what happens. That's all I got for next week. I don't even have a score prediction because for what? Like you saw this shit show. Hopefully we don't lose too bad again. And shit, rise up, rise down. I don't fucking know. We're back home, right? I think we're
Yeah,
back home.
real quick, somebody tweeted out the little stat of Desmond Ridder being 8 for 8 for 73 yards and a touchdown and 5 first downs. Talking about Desmond is so good down the stretch in games, so we just have to figure out how to get him going early. That's the delusion I'm talking about. Like
Delulu.
you can't pick and choose what you want to see with this guy. Like with the rose color lenses, like that's cool, but you're doing that when we're down 2 possessions or 3 possessions. Like that's not getting it done.
Yeah. Y'all can live in Delulu land if you want to. I'm tired of living in Delulu land. I'm only living in Delulu land when it comes to America in politics in regular life. But when we see this shit, we're looking at this shit week after week and it's some bullshit and you want to live in Delulu land, you go ahead. You just do that. You keep getting hurt. I'm not going to keep on getting hurt over here. Shit. Jalen said 28-13 Falcons. Oh Lord. Jalen, you got it. Maybe we will. Maybe it'll be a turnaround game. I don't know. He said if they lose to the Texans on everything, he's going back to only watching half of the game. Well, you might just be doing that, my friend. I have no hope. He said we're a better team than the Texans. Hey, we probably are, but if they don't
Just
fucking perform,
just for the record, this Texans team smoked the Jaguars last week. Just for the record, like I know you can't do the whole well. They beat them last week, so we should be like that. Stuff doesn't work. But to say that the Falcons are way better than the Texans when the Texans smoked the Jaguars, a team that you guys couldn't do nothing against, is kind of I don't know.
I mean, division games are always weird, so you got to take that into consideration.
I mean, it wasn't close. Like they won by 20.
Division games are always weird. You got to take that into consideration.
Yeah, that's true. And they did it in Jacksonville.
That's a bad look.
Yeah.
oh man. So yeah, we're gonna see. Y'all put y'all's score predictions, y'all's thoughts on Ritter, the offense. I mean, you can put your thoughts on defense too, but you know, Hey, they've been keeping us in the game. In the game, every game. I don't have much bad to say about the damn defense because they've been actually performing for the most part and keeping teams from putting up a fucking 70 piece on us like, the Dolphins did last week to, who was it, the Broncos? So yeah, put y'all shit in the comments below. Like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to KTSEF podcast. Y'all got 31 days to get us to 200 subscribers, or ain't nobody gonna get a jersey. In a real jersey, not no DH Gate jersey. I'm gonna go to the team store. You can pick out whatever jersey you want. So once we get to 200 subscribers, we're gonna do a giveaway, but it's got to be by Halloween. That way you can get your jersey before Christmas, because everybody knows what happens when Black Friday hits. So thanks for watching. Y'all got any last and final words before we get out of here?
Stop calling yourselves lesbians. It's embarrassing.
Thank y'all for watching. Subscribe to all the channels. They'll be in the description box below. And we out of here.